Today, I want to show you how to understand music theory to make better bass lines in the real world. I'll see you inside the video. Hey, it's James here from eBass Guitar. We help bass players start playing at 50 and beyond. Today's video, I want to introduce you to my 4-stage applied music theory system. This is a whole system I've put together to help you take music theory from being an academic theoretical subject to help you creating fantastic bass lines. Now, this system is the backbone of my applied music theory accelerator, which I will tell you about in just a second. But first of all, this video is the second in a 2-part series. So I encourage you to go back and watch the first part. Now, there are 4 stages to the applied music theory system: install, apply, explore, and perform. In the first video, we looked at how to install and apply music theory. In this video, we're going to look at how to explore and develop music theory, and then we're going to look at using it, how to use it in your performances. So if you love the content which is in this video and you think, hell yeah, the Applied Music Theory Accelerator is for me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link to the program in the description below, and you can jump on and reserve your spot there. So regardless of whether you ultimately choose to take the Applied Music Theory Accelerator, I want you to get the most from this video. That's why I put together a completely free PDF so you can see everything we're discussing today written out in standard notation and tab. I'll put a link to that in the description below. So we're now in stage 3, where we're going to be looking at how to apply it, and then we're going to move on to stage 4, and we're going to look at how to use this information to perform. But let's just recap stages 1 and 2, which are in the previous video. Check that out if you haven't already watched it. In stage 1, install, we covered the A major scale and how to play it in quarter notes, 8th notes, and 16th notes to install that under our fingers. I've written that out at the top here. And then in the second video, or the second stage rather, we looked at developing this into triads. And we learnt the first 3 primary triads: chords 1, chords 4, and chords 5. So check out that information. Now, to apply this, we're going to have some fun, and we're going to add in an extra chord to make this video more interesting. We're going to add in an F sharp minor chord. This is chord 6. And we create it exactly the same way as our previous other triads. So we take the F, the A, and then the C sharp, like so. Write that in there. F, A, C sharp, add the octave in there at the end there, because this is going to create us a brand new 4-bar chord sequence. But let me play you that triad to begin with. So we have chord 1, which we covered in the previous video. There's the triad. Chord 4, the D, so we played an A, a D, chord 5, which is an E, and then we're going to add in the F sharp minor here, which starts on the first finger, like so. So the notes are F sharp, A, C sharp, F sharp, like so. So get it under your fingers. So what we're going to do now in stage 3 is create some riffs to play over our new chord sequence. So I'm going to give you the chord sequence, then we're going to learn 3 riffs to play over it. So the chord sequence we're going to use is a bar of A, a bar of E, a bar of F sharp minor, and then a bar of D. Now, this chord sequence is in thousands of songs. Think Let It Be by the Beatles. Think Don't Stop Believing by Journey. Think She Will Be Loved by Maroon 5. The list just goes on and on. So it's a great chord sequence to work with. So the first riff I'm going to teach you is a 1-bar riff. And it's dead simple. It's just going to use the first 3 notes of the triad. And it's going to sound like this. And what we can do is we can take that pattern, dum, bum, 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 and superimpose it through the other triads. So we're going to go to an E next, to an F sharp minor, to a D. So let me play out with the backing track so you can hear this concept in action. For this video, I'm going to give you 3 riffs to work on. That's the first one. Inside the Applied Music Theory Accelerator, I take you through 10 riffs to go super deep into this concept. Now, the second riff that I'm going to cover uses the triad with the octave in there. So this is what it sounds like. All right? Sounds like a technical exercise in isolation, but when you superimpose it across the chord sequence, you end up with this. Let's hear what that sounds like with the backing track. Again, for the riffs in the Applied Music Theory Accelerator, there are 3 levels. So think of this as more of a level 3 riff. It's going to be a little bit more challenging. This is what it sounds like. All notes derived directly from the triad with the octave in there. Here's what it sounds like. Guys, we'll be back to the lesson content in just a second, but if you want to learn music theory from the ground upwards and you want to make your very first steps into it, I've got a whole book written on the subject. It's called The Complete Guide to Music Theory for Bass Guitar Players. And right now, over at the eBass Guitar store, you can grab yourself 10% off using coupon code YT10. I'll put a link to that in the description below. Back to the video content. So it's time for part 4 now. It's time to perform a song. And in the Applied Music Theory Accelerator, we take some world-class songs from artists like Wilson Pickett through to the Eagles, through to Steve Miller Band, to name just a few. But today, I want to keep things super simple. And I want to use one song which just has a repeated 8-bar loop. And that is Stand By Me by Benny King. Now, this is over the chord sequence of 2 bars of A, 2 bars of F sharp minor, a bar of D, a bar of E, and then a bar of A. Right now, I'm just going to play the original bass line, which I'm sure you're familiar with. And the crucial thing is I want you to appreciate right now how every single note of that bass line is directly derived from the A major scale. So check this out. have it a world-class bass line directly derived from the A major scale. Now, the reality is if you're playing this song live, the chances are you'll want to start varying the bass line so you're not stuck playing the same thing over and over again. And the triads with the octaves on here are a great place to start. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to superimpose riffs over it. Now, we've already covered this. So what I'm going to do for the second example is I'm going to take riff number 1, which we played earlier, and put it over this chord sequence so you can hear it in action. It's really simple, really effective, and gives you some great variations from the original bass line. Check this out. Now for our final third example, I'm going to take riff number 3 from the first part of this video and superimpose this over the chord sequence of Stand By Me. There are a ton of options here. I'm going to play it all the way through, but in reality, the chances are you might want to play a bit of the original bass line and then superimpose a little 1-bar riff from some of the other bass lines that you've learned. And these are the options that learning music theory and the language of music gives you. So here is that bass line number 3 superimposed across the chord sequence. So there you have it. Over the last 2 videos, we've been through all 4 stages of the 4-stage applied music theory. So we've covered how to install foundational concepts. We've covered how to apply them to chord sequences. We've explored how to build them, and then we've shown you how to use them in performances too. Now, if you've liked what you've seen over these 2 videos and you're interested in taking the Applied Music Theory Accelerator, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link in the description below where you can check it out, or visit ebassguitar/MTA, and you can check out all of the details there and you can reserve your spot. At the time of making this video, we're going live in about 2 weeks' time. So make sure you keep an eye on there and reserve your spot today. Cheers, I've been James from ebassguitar.com, and I'll catch you soon.